I know the title of the video isn't great. I think I don't like stuff like this 'cause I feel like I'm gonna be overly negative about stuff, and that's not entirely fun. I don't. I like being positive. I like from the good part, but it's an interesting discussion. Like, what makes a bad Christmas film? And I think a lot of people will go for Elf as the worst Christmas film, and I think it is far from the worst. I think there's some odd bits from Will Ferrell. I think, but there's some really good performances, and I think the Will Ferrell performance isn't the thing that I dislike about it. It's the lack of chemistry between the romantic relationship. But then again, that's like I feel like a lot of Christmas rom-coms do that, where it's like kind of going this kind of forced romance, which is another thing I could talk about with Christmas movies, where like there feels like it's very much like there's a certain pathway to them, where they're going quite often it's like going, yes, family and this like I would say it was a heteronormative because I know there are a few movies with like Christmas movies with LGBTQ plus Cs, which is nice. It's kind of, I think there are more. I really want a Christmas movie with a found family trope. I I really want to. I'm sure there are, and to be honest, this is helping me because you like that's the thing. If I just say there are no movies like this, people will correct me rather than if going, are there any movies like this? That's how you find out information on the internet. You don't ask a question, you say the wrong statement, and people will come to correct you. So, like, another good competition is Santa Claus 2, the Santa Claus 2, starring, oh god, I forget his name. I'll put his name in here. What I don't know why I forgot his name, but it's just, yeah, it's a typical sequel. It's just like not as good as the original, and it's like kind of going, there's this extra secret bit and then you didn't know about ants going. It's just like that's the thing. Sequels quite often ruin stuff, and I think it would be easy to pick on its sequel. I think the whole trying to find a Mrs. Claus. It's hard because the Norwegian version of Santa doesn't have a Mrs. Claus, which I learned about for the another video coming out, which I enjoyed. I don't think it's either of those because I think there's the, the second and third Santa Claus films are terrible. I'm not going to defend them. I'm sure I'm sure there's some enjoyable comedic stuff to it. And there are some like enjoyable jokes. But it's not that bad. The two I'm going to discuss for most of this video are ones where it's just like kind of going, it's so it's the I don't want to say the moral message, like the moral message, but yeah, again, it's just yeah, I'm going to discuss Love Actually and why it's one of the worst Christmas films, and that's going to land me in that hot water. And do you know, if you enjoy the film, I totally understand why. There are some really enjoyable things about it. Liam Neeson's character and like kind of like him trying to be a stepfather. I think that is really good, and I wish the um film focused more on that. And I don't know what to say. You can tell it was written by a man, can't you? You can. You can I'm sorry, I won't remember some of the names from this. I only watched it the once. I remember Colin, and that's because I hate him. I hate Colin. He's the worst. And that's the thing. Colin shouldn't have had. I don't want to be mean that he doesn't deserve a happy ending. No, it's like kind of going. He was misogynistic and showing that this kind of behaviour results in bad things happening would have been a good moral message. But like, give it feels like so eerie. I think it's I think it's it's the also the sign moment. The sign moment everyone talks about is one of the worst parts of the movie, in my opinion. It's just like you didn't respect their boundaries. The whole thing's really creepy. Also, you didn't get permission to film her, and you were just gonna keep it for their own personal use. And that's just really creepy. It's like really creepy behavior. And that's just not on. I think that's the other thing I hate. It is again, like there's a lot of like kind of weird behaviour that's not called out. I just don't why I had such difficulty with the film at the going. No, like I think Alan Rickman like cheating on what I forget how I forget again, but that entire arc is very compelling and very well acted by. It's played very well. It's like done very well. But then again, like, for the first part of the movie, he just shows no interest in the secretary at all. And it feels like very much like they had to have some sort of conflict in the movie. I think that's the thing I can talk about. Is it's jumping between perspectives, and it's like stuff like that could work. I think I don't want to compare it to Avatar: Last Airbender because Avatar: The Last Airbender is far superior to Love Actually, which is a bad movie. It's a bad movie with good stuff in it, but then it's the Tale of the Bar thing saying, also the How I Met Your Mother episode where they're trying to race to the bar. It's like where it's taking a story from multiple perspectives. But then again, with the two of those, the stories were interweaved, and I guess it's also an episode of a TV show, so you're more familiar with the characters. And that's another thing, is that a lot of the stuff that you're meant to be invested in, like the stuff before it happens after, I think Cinema Therapy does a good point about how it's like kind of it mixes up romance with infatuation. Is that right? I forget the word. Again, I'll put it up on the screen. But it doesn't get romance right because it's going. I think it's one of my least favorite things. It always happens in romantic movies and rom-coms. It's like is a big sweeping gesture, and I'm going, that's not what romance is. It's not this big sweeping moment. It's a million tiny moments that I think it forgets that. It does forget. I think it's but then again, like I said, there's enjoyable stuff. Martin Freeman's character is a great in it. I think it's showing. I think it's again. I'm gonna put the Cinema Therapy video on on Love Actually in the description. I highly recommend the video. It's very good and it's like a really interesting deep dive into the dynamics of the characters. Anyway, I think I've covered quite a bit of the Hugh Grant stuff with the creators going, are they worried about that? Because they're going, that's unprofessional conduct, and it's going, that felt odd to be kind of celebrating that. Okay, but then they do it in a good enough way where it's kind of going. I think the thing where he tried to move it somewhere else to be more professional, that was quite a good touch. I think that's my interpretation of the scene anyway, of her redisputing it. But that also gets me onto the fat jokes, fat jokes, and going, the person's not fat. So again, this film does feel kind of sexist at times, but they're going, oh yeah, you can tell it's written by a man, can't you? And going, yeah, there are still enjoyable stuff about this movie. It's not the worst Christmas film. I'm going to talk about the worst Christmas film, and it's terrible for a very specific reason. Yeah, it's being filmed later than the other stuff because I had to change. But anyway, the worst one has to be Christmas with the Cranks. It's so bad. Firstly, it's painfully unfunny. It's got a bunch of dumb tropes in, and the self bit which is complete and utter total whiplash. And secondly, this is why I want to talk about this Love Actually, is its moral message is that no, they can't celebrate Christmas in their own way. They have to celebrate in a specific way. They've got to celebrate in this commercialized way. It's like, no, that's I think what I want, more Christmas we go, celebrate with who you like and celebrate your own way, because that's Christmas is about like enjoyment and jolly earth. That's one of the main themes of Christmas. So why not just let people celebrate it their way they want? And that's the thing. If you like Love Actually and watch it for Christmas, and that brings you joy, that's cool. I personally don't like it. I might watch it just because then, like, but I won't watch it by myself. I had to watch it with someone else, either someone who really enjoyed it, because I get to see their enjoyment, and that gives me joy, or to watch it with someone else who also doesn't like it, and we can rag on the movie together. That is something I enjoy, and that's something I'm probably going to play Christmas playing board games and card games. That's my way of celebrating, and that's great. And you may have your own way of celebrating. You may celebrate Christmas, and I apologise if the overuse Christmas. And like, that's also wonderful. That's the beauty of it. That we get each celebrate our own holidays in our own unique way, and that's something beautiful to be celebrated. And I think that's what that movie misunderstands. That's why it's the worst Christmas movie. There we go, worst Christmas movie, Christmas to Cranks. Don't watch it, and if you do, make sure you're pissed. And that's how I'm going to end this video. Countdown to Christmas has begun. Hope